Hello, my name is Mel. I'm here today to show you my experience of installing the water pump in my Mercury 4-stroke Bigfoot 60 horsepower, and it's on my Sun Tracker pontoon boat 2013 year model. So with that being said, I am not a professional marine mechanic. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I do have considerable experience with mechanical things. I'm an aviation technician and I'm also an automotive technician. So let's get started. First of all, I want to show you some of the parts and tools that I used in doing this job. We first of all have our water pump kit, which I did purchase at Amazon. The part number on it is 468M0113799. This is a complete kit. It has everything you need in it to do the job. It has gaskets. It has several different plates that you will be using. Seals. Some different water channels. And then of course the water pump itself. And I have the impeller inside the water pump at this time. I'll be using the 2,4C Quicksilver marine grease. And when I put the oil back into the foot or remove it, I use the Quicksilver Gear Lube pump. All of these things are from Amazon. Before I begin, I would like to show you the water pump itself that I use. I believe this is the only thing that I did not do exactly by the way the book said to do it, because I tried it the way the book said to do it and I just could not make it work that way. I tried it many times the way the book said. So I finally gave up on that, and this is just the way I did it. You might have a better way of doing it, or you may be able to do it the way the book says. But I'm going to be showing you how I did it. This impeller, when you first get it, it's very stiff. The blades on it are hard to bend over. So when I tried to put the pump on and twist it like the book says to do it, everything turned and nothing held in place. So what I did is I took the impeller and I twisted it into the housing first. And I made it look real easy there, but it's not easy. This is the old impeller and the blades already have the bend made into it. So it's pretty easy to get this one in. The new one is stiff and the blades are straight out. They're not curved at all. So I put lubricant on it using silicone, and then I just kept working with it and working with it and working with it until I finally got the blades to go into the housing of the pump. That being said, when I went to put the pump on, then all I had to do is slide it down and line the keyway up in order to be able to put it on. At the beginning of this video, I'll be showing you how to take all the bolts and everything out of it. I had a little problem with my camera and it kind of tilted down by itself. So one time real quick, I'm going to take the camera off the stand and I'm going to show you the bolts that we're going to be using. But first we need to raise it up. Okay, you have the two bolts on each side. You got this one right here. You got this one right here. We go around to the other side. Got the same thing on this side. Got the bolt here and the bolt here. And then you have a stud which is underneath right here that has a nut on it. And then you'll have to take this plate off, and the bolt for it is right here on the top. So those are the bolts that we have to take off in order to get the lower foot off the engine. The same bolts on the other side. And I got this one more bolt right here that I need to take out. I'm gonna have to get a socket for it. So it's a 15mm socket. That seems to fit it good. And that's a nut and a flat washer. Okay, I'm going to pull my last bolt out while holding up on this. It's broken loose now. Looks like good all the way around. And then I'm going to take it over on the other side and I'm going to put it up on my sawhorse. It's going to have a long shaft on it. So I got to come all the way down and clear the shaft out of it. And there should be a tube on it that I'm going to have to watch for. Okay. Run my two boards up underneath the fin here on either side. Set it across. And I'm going to go get something and clamp these boards together so while working on it I don't knock it apart. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is there's a good bit of dust and all around here, so I'm just going to kind of blow all this off a little bit. Don't want anything falling inside the motor, inside the gear case. So I'm going to take this off. Set it to the side. Next, I've got 4 10mm headed screws to take off the water pump cover. So I'm going to get those loose. Make sure they're not, oh yes, that one's coming out real nice. These are not super tight. That one's coming out good. That one's coming out good. I believe they're all going to come out good. I'm not going to use any penetrating oil on any of them, but if you were having trouble, put a little penetrating oil on them. Okay, they're all broke loose, so I'm going to use my drill to finish removing them. Get a little quicker. 1, 2, 3. and 4. I got to remove this cover. It seems to be fairly free. There is a key in there, so you want to make sure that you don't lose your key. It's a little stuck there. Okay, got the cover off. And check the insides for any scoring. And it is dry in here, but it's been sitting up all winter. This will be the first time back in the water. We'll set the cover to the side. Notice that the impeller, which way the blades are going, so you want to make sure that you put it back in the same way. The new one will be straight, so you'll have to work it in there. Pull the impeller off. Go up underneath it here. Do a little budge. Now this is our keyway right here. I'll turn this around a little bit so you can see it. I'll go ahead and pull it off so it doesn't fall down in this hole, and also so I don't lose it. Okay, that's my impeller. I'm going to pull the plate up and off. Like 6 screws holding this bottom plate on. They're 10mm bolts. Let's see how they feel. These are just a little bit tight, so I'm going to get some penetrant to put on them. Okay, so the penetrant's been soaking for a little bit. So I'm going to try running these back down just a little bit and then back up. Oh, that feels a lot better. Down, back up, down, back up. We're good. This one's still a little tight. Down, back up, down. Back up. That one's still a little tight. Down. Back up. So these 3 were still a little tight. Those 3 feel real good. So I'm going to spray just a little more penetrant on them. You don't want to break these off in there. And another thing that seems to help, if you've got a stuck bolt like that, is to tap on it just a little bit. So I'm going to take a punch and kind of helps drive that lubricant down in there. Not hard, but just some little taps. Kind of helps disperse that oil. Okay, we're going to go back down again. Try coming back up. Still a little tight, but it feels a lot better. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. Down. Back up. That one feels a lot better. Down. Back up. Don't need to get in a hurry with this because working them back and forth is a lot better than breaking one off. I'm going to put this is the only one that feels like it's just still a little bit hard. So I'm going to hit it one more time. Tap it a little bit again. Go down. Back up. It's loosening up some. Still a little tighter than the rest, but I think it's going to be okay. If it starts binding up hard, I'm going to stop again. That seems to be getting looser and looser. Okay, that's good. Threads are not hurt. So we're going to take the rest of them out with the screwdriver. And all those seem to come out pretty decent. Okay, so we're going to pull this next plate off, which has a seal made into the bottom of it. Lift it up and off. So it has a seal made right here into the bottom, which seals it around the shaft. I'm going to check that part of the shaft where it goes onto it, make sure it looks okay. And then we got one more gasket. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to get a scraper for this gasket. So I've got a regular scraper and a razor scraper, and we're going to see what it'll take to get this gasket off. I'd love for it to come off in one piece, but they don't usually do that. It's moving. So far, so good. Take your time, just work with it. Get in a hurry, you usually get in trouble. Alright, so that came off in pretty good shape. And so I'll just clean all this up and then we'll be ready to put it back together. Okay, so I got all the housing cleaned up with the rag and wiped it off real good. It wasn't too hard to clean. And now we're going to get ready to put it back together. So our first thing to put on is the gasket. So you want to match up your gasket with the holes. So I'm going to drop it on right there. And make sure that all the holes line up. And they seem to line up just right. So the next thing to go on is our new plate, and all of these holes will line up as well. There is a seal made into the bottom of this, so I'm going to put just a little bit of marine grease on it. I use the Quicksilver marine grease and just want to lubricate that shaft a little bit where it goes around. Don't need a lot. And also I'm going to put just a little bit on the seal itself, on the lip of it. So it should sit down in there very smoothly. Okay, so we're going to drop that on. Kind of work it down on top of the shaft there, keeping the holes in the gasket lined up. Push it down in place. Till it's bottomed out. And make sure that your holes are all lined up all the way through the gasket. Okay, they don't feel like they're lined up perfectly yet. So, take my time here, and I'm going to pull this back up just a little bit. So I can move the gasket around. Starting them all by hand. I'm going to put just a little bit of marine grease on each one of these bolts before I put it back in, just to give it some lubricant, make it go in a little smoother. Now I'm going to go ahead and put bolts in these 4 holes here where the cover would bolt down, just because it's got to go through the gasket too, but we won't tighten them down at all. I just want to use them for guides. And looks like they had a little Loctite on them, so I'm going to go clean them up first. So I got my 4 cover bolts. Clean them all up. Just going to run these down a few where the covers go. Kind of bringing them all down a little at a time, just to make sure that everything's lined up and that the bolts are going in easily. So these 4 outside ones are my cover bolts. So that's as far as I'm going to run them down. But I am going to go ahead and snug all the inside ones up. And I like to do these by hand. I don't like to run them in with my drill. I like to be able to feel how their threads are going in as I do it. Okay, so all the plate bolts are snugged up. Okay, so I'm going to pull my bolts back out that go into the cover, as I have all the rest of the ones in the plates installed and torqued down. So the next thing to go on is going to be our gaskets and the plate. And you want to observe the little small hole. They're going to go up here towards the top to be in alignment with that one right there. And you want to make sure that the holes in the gaskets are lined up, because they only work one way. So if they're not lined up, then you need to flip it over and try it again. Okay. So gonna put the impeller on now, and I'm gonna put a little bit of lubricant down here on this plate, the bottom of the impeller, and my keyway is right here. This particular water pump does not have a seal that goes at the bottom of it or the top. It's just the way it's made. A lot of them do. This particular one does not. So line up your impeller with your key and push it down. Hang on to the shaft. Make sure that it is in place properly. Then we're going to put this down over it till it touches the impeller. And we're going to have to spin the shaft and spin the housing cover at the same time to try and get the impeller up into the housing. And this is the old one, so we want to make sure that we're going the proper direction so that the splines, the blades on the impeller, go in at the correct angle. We've got the impeller on, we've got the cover ready to go on. So I'm going to put a little down pressure on that. I'm going to spin the shaft at the same time pressing down on the, and that didn't go in. Okay, so let's see if we can start the impeller in here first. Okay, I've tried a dozen times to put that impeller down and twist it. I've seen plenty of videos that show people just doing it with not any problem at all. But apparently they're stronger than I am, or they know something that I don't know. But I can't get it to go in that way. Well, as you can see, I did get the cover on. I kind of struggled with it, and I did not get it on like I see other people putting them on, where they twist this to the right and kind of twist this to the left as they push down. I could not make that work. So what I did, I tried several different ways, but what I ended up doing is, and this is the old one, I ended up putting the impeller inside the new cover just like this before I ever put it on. And it was still a struggle to get it in, but I was able to get it in and get the blades going in the correct position. So after I did that, then it was just a matter of sliding it down, lining it up with the key that's in there, and it slipped right down. But that's the only way I could do it. Don't know if that's the proper way to do it, but it's on there and everything's in place like it should be. So I pull this up, and this is my shift rod, and I put a little grease around that. And I'm already put my water tube, my new one, up in the housing, so it's ready. And I'm going to come up to the top here, and I've cleaned the splines, right there. And I'm going to go ahead and put some of the 2,4-C Quicksilver grease on those splines. And I'm going to try to smear it all around on each spline. All the splines look good and they're clean, none of them are bent. Okay, so I've got the splines greased up. I've got that shaft greased up. I used a silicone spray on my impeller down there, which made it turn a lot freer, and hopefully that will keep it from being a hydraulic problem in here with the impellers running possibly dry because of not being any water in it. But I know it has lubricant, so it should be okay. I'm going to actually put a little bit of lubricant right around here where the standpipe goes on it. And as far as I can tell, I think we've got everything done. Bolts are all torqued, impellers in. Oh, one other thing is, I noticed that when I put this cover on, it seemed to be a little closer up here at this end. So I took a small screwdriver like this, and I put it on this bolt right here. And since this screw was trying to go in a little crooked, I just pushed it sideways, and then it made that hole line up better. It went straight in, and it fixed my gap to where it's the same all the way around. You don't want that cover to be hitting your shaft, or in my opinion, I think it could cut it. So we're ready to take it out of the holder. We'll go over and see if we need to do anything else to the foot at this time, and we'll put it back in. Okay, I unclipped my camera here, and I'm going to show you that this right here is the standpipe that goes over the housing, and this right here is where the gear shifter will go over the splines in the foot in order to change the gears. So I'm going to put it in forward gear, and then I'm going to turn my shift shaft on the foot to forward gear so that I will know that it is going in the right direction. So I'm lubricating my last bolt. I put lubricant on each one of them to make it easier to get out next time, hold down the corrosion. I also put lubricant on this one right here, the stud that sticks through. And on the foot, I also have put lubricant on the pins that go up in here, because sometimes they have a tendency to stick when you're trying to take it out. And I put some on the shift shaft that will go up in here. Everything needs to be lubed. So we're ready to go over and get the foot, and let's see if we can put it in. There it goes. Well, that worked pretty good. Can't see over there. So that went all the way in place. Okay. That's not the lightest thing in the world I ever picked up. So I'm going to put the rest of the bolts in. Okay, so I kind of snugged those up. They're not tight yet, but as you can see, I still have a little bit of space right here. You should be able to push this all the way up by hand. It's heavy, but it'll go all the way up. If it's not going all the way up, you better pull it back out and take a look, because something's not right. So, as you can see now, it is all the way up. And I will finish bringing these bolts up with my fingers, and then give them a little snug. All the way up, all the way around. So now I will finish snugging these up. Before I completely tighten them down, I'm going to go ahead and put the nut on the stud there. We got a washer. Okay, that's started. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these out. I'm using a 5/8 wrench. You can probably also, I like to use this ratchet wrench, it just makes it a little quicker. You can also use probably a 15 millimeter. I have to have a socket for this one. Actually, I am using a 15 on this one. Using a 6-point rather than a 12. Okay, so that ought to do that. nut with the nut plate. And I gotta just get it enough to where it will line up where I can bend the tabs down. And I'll do it right there. So I've got 3 tabs that I can lock down. Grab the camera out of the holder here. And I'll just show you right here, and right here is where I locked them down. And I think that'll be good. Okay. So the foot is all back on and we're ready to put the oil in it. The plugs are still out. I put new washers on the plugs, so when we're ready to put them back in, they'll be ready to go. So the bottom one is where we're going to screw the tool in to push the oil into the foot. So I have the bottom hole, which is the drain hole, and then I have this one right here, which is the fill hole. They're labeled up here, and then this one is a vent hole. So this particular motor has 3 different holes in it. So I'm using Quicksilver 80W90. See the oil going through. I think last time I changed it, it was about 1 quart, maybe not quite. So we will keep pumping it until it starts coming out this hole right here. There it comes. So we'll go ahead and put our drain plugs back in and our fill plugs. Always put new drain plug, fill plug washers on them. They're really cheap as compared to what a new gear assembly would cost. So I do it every time. I'll put one more. Whoops, there we go. That came out the vent hole, so it's definitely full. All this up. And now we've got one more plug left to put in, so we're going to pull out the pull off the hose on all that of it. And stop it up, keep it from coming out. And now I'm going to quickly put in the drain plug so as not to lose too much oil out of it. And that's how you fill up the lower end gear with new oil.